What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jedi Jive. We've got the finale reaction to Secret Invasion.
Woo!
Joining us, as always, is my sister, Jenny.
Hey, guys.
So, finales are usually fun. Obviously, this is a reaction channel, so, I'm not going to lie. We want things that are exciting to happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's this show has been different from other Marvel shows in that, it actually does take itself seriously at times, and it's pensive, and it's got some it's not necessarily all about explosions and Marvel humor, and
although there has been some good examples of both of those
all
things.
of that, yes, exactly. We also mentioned it before that the show She-Hulk kind of made fun of the way we anticipate finales and the way we always think things should be crazy at the end, and it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. But like I said, I'd be lying if I said we didn't want something shocking to happen. It's I want to see us react to something fun. Yeah. So I think if anything, we're looking forward to, like I said, something shocking maybe. Don't know whether it's going to be a super closed out happy ending or if it's going to be some wide open, oh my goodness ending. It could really be anything. They've set up so many potential scenarios here. One thing we did mention before this was that we liked the theme of what Nick Fury was saying, and that we can't always rely on superheroes to save planet Earth, and that sometimes the human beings have to handle their own war here. And I was saying that I thought it would be cool if President Ritson was playing a long game, and that he's known all along, and it seems you can't trust anybody. You don't know who's who. You don't know who's playing what cards at what time. Who's a Skrull? Even Sonya was who isn't a Skrull these days? So legitimately,
anybody could be a Skrull.
Yeah, we could speculate the hell out of this.
I would like to see one really surprising Skrull reveal. That would be my wish list.
Yeah.
Somebody that we haven't anticipated was a Skrull being a Skrull, for better or for worse.
Sonya could be a Skrull.
Right.
President Ritson could be a Skrull.
Exactly. I would like to see one really surprising Skrull reveal. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Apart from that, my wish list is I want to know where the real Rhodey is.
Yeah.
I really want to know where my guy is.
Yeah.
So,
and then on top of that, we also have just sort of the whole technology of the harvest and getting superpowers through using this machine, and Gaia has gotten, as far as we know, Extremis, but we don't know if she has anything else.
I don't think she has anything else.
But Gravik has basically just gotten everything and is looking to get more.
He's got a basket of different abilities.
Potentially, the harvest is all of the main Avengers,
including Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers, so
who's got god powers basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've also been mentioning week after week that it makes sense that Gaia would have to face off against Gravik because they,
yeah,
it just makes sense.
From a narrative point of view, I would like to see that plant re-enter the picture.
It will.
The plant that her mother, tended.
Yeah.
That would be my narrative.
And as far as the themes of your Skrull heritage and being in touch with the Skrull people and all of that, they had that whole funeral scene and all of
beautiful.
That. There's a lot of potential good things that can come out of this episode. So anyway, guys, we can speculate all we want, but we got to jump in and watch this, and we'll discuss it afterwards.
That sounds good. Well, that was efficient.
Yo. Yeah, I love the swagger he's got right now. He was all business.
We cannot rule out the possibility of a false flag attack.
Did you take a stupid pill with your breakfast this morning, Admiral?
Woo!
Unless you have some actual evidence to back up this ridiculous false flag proposition, I suggest you move on to doing what it is you were summoned here to do. They need your leadership. They need to understand who's responsible for this. And it's the Russians, 100%. Make the call, Mr. President.
Seems just a little forceful.
I was about to say, it's coming on really strong.
Yeah.
Or I should say, she's coming on really strong.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah. That bad, huh? Oh, is that just...
Radiation levels, I think.
Oh, yeah, no, he's taking iodine. Okay, yeah, it's supposed to be radiation's messing him up.
Once Ritson stopped before the bomb is launched, move the president now.
Looks like it's just you and me, Fury.
Oof.
All our pills. That's a shame, isn't it?
in my mind, I'm like, don't believe anything you see right now. Like, I feel like nothing is on solid ground right now.
I'm supposed to be like Talos and put my trust in you. You pimped us, Fury. First, I'm gonna kill you. And then, I'm gonna take a flamethrower to humanity. You did this. All the bombs and the blackouts and the imminent removal of humans from their habitat. That is all you.
He hasn't lost his cool like this except when he was physically attacked by his own men.
Because it's easier to save the lives of 8 billion people than it is to change their hearts and minds.
Even for Nick Fury.
Even for Nick Fury. Do you know why I came back to Earth? You. I felt responsible for you. I should have taught you that you never give up the fight. Just leave Earth the hell alone and leave it now.
I think the radiation's eating your brains, mate.
No, Gravik, I think Fury's outsmarting you.
Yeah.
Fury's not that stupid. Oh, shit. That was like everyone.
Everybody.
You want to die?
Just yours back into the hallway. Go on.
Sonya.
Sonya's my fave.
I mean, it makes sense that they would Super Skrull Gravik.
Is Nick Fury super...
Wait, is Fury gonna get powers?
now as well? Does it work on humans or only Skrulls?
What the hell?
Yes!
Yes!
You got it too. Bro!
Whoa, he has a Hulk arm!
Oh my god, it's Super Fury.
Yo! Oh! Super fake out!
Okay. Yeah, alright, that makes perfect sense. He was like, yeah, wait a minute, it works on humans?
You killed my mother, my father.
Alright, here we go.
You're weak.
Drax. Yo. Okay, there's the Invisible Woman kind of, but not Invisible Woman. It's one of those other characters.
Oh, dude! Well, as predicted, she's the one who has to face off against Gravik.
He and other world officials are being kept in pods beneath the Skrull compound.
So he is in Russia.
Please tell me this isn't true.
Are you listening to this insanity? Of course it isn't true.
Come on, Gaia, get back up.
Mr. President, listen. Just stay the course, all right? And all our enemies will be gone.
It's... Oh, there's Carol Danvers.
Yes!
I was about to say, why are they holding back?
Not anymore.
These two characters are too OP to have all of these, like, they're gonna have to kill each other.
Oh my god, it's Mantis.
Ah!
Just delay the strike. If I'm wrong, you can send me to prison and flatten Russia.
There's your 3-point landing.
Superhero landing.
Yep.
Just like your father. Them.
No.
That can't be it. That almost seemed too simple.
No, he's got extremis. That didn't kill him. There you go.
There he is. She is.
There's Rhodey.
There's Rhodey.
Okay.
Oh, and there's Ross.
The terrorists responsible were a shape-shifting, alien-born species known as Skrulls. I'm presenting to Congress for immediate emergency authorization a bill that designates all off-world-born species enemy combatants.
Oh.
We know how to find you, and we will kill every last one of you.
Oh, that's not good.
No.
Not good.
You can find a way to forgive me. You know where to find me.
Your people need a leader. You'll need resources to fight this war that Ritson has launched on your people, and I can give them to you. I will use you, and you will use me, and together we'll make this planet safe for both our people. This is how the enemy got so good.
You took a bad situation and made it worse. That's real one-term president stuff.
Now, before the hit squad...
There's only one way this ends. If you truly care about the Skrulls, get them off my planet.
Good news from Saber. The Kree said they're open to peace talks with the Skrulls.
Hmm.
And we're better together. Well, at least I am. Please, come with me.
Nice shot.
All my work is here, darling. And it's never been more important.
Oh, wow.
I just wanted to tell you that I love you as I am.
Only as you are.
Special guest. This is the first time Kobe Smulders didn't
Hasn't
get
been front and center, I know.
There's no post credits. Oh, that's disappointing. I'm a little bit disappointed, only in that like they could have done more. Could have done more because it felt like a little abbreviated. Like the Gravik and Gaia fight, cool, but like just too abbreviated. Like at the end of that, it was like, oh yeah, he's not dead.
It felt too simple for him just to be dead.
But then
right
it was like,
it felt too easy. Yeah, it felt like she achieved that.
Why
too
didn't they both
easily.
just Carol Danvers the whole time? Why would they?
Right.
Why would you use a Drax arm when you could just turn into Carol Danvers and like?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like I don't know, that it could have been.
That was more
a
a
lot better.
showcase for all of their cool CGI.
The
than
President
anything
Ritson
else.
thing, like he was just kind of a doofus the whole time and not playing the long game. So I was disappointed with that too, because he was just kind of like. And then when he finally did, get back at the end, like he just was like "fuck Skrulls," and like it was like understandable to some degree, but also
I understand the sort of President Ritson thing. I think by the same right as like Fury said, they have to stop relying on superheroes to save them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I think you also at a certain point have to stop relying on figureheads like the U.S. president to save you, because that's not the answer to saving humanity. But as predicted, this was not a nice, tidy ending.
No.
You know, they solved the immediate crisis of Gravik and World War III, but learning to live together is a much harder proposition, and it doesn't happen immediately or easily.
That ending shot is a nice shot in that, like, it plays that up in terms of, like, well, on a world, global scale, cosmic scale, like, Skrulls and humans and are, they don't just automatically get along. Like, there's still conflict there, but on an individual scale,
this one
the
couple
personal
is
relationships,
making it work.
exactly.
Yeah,
like
there's one couple that's an example for the rest. I'm a little disappointed that plant didn't come back around.
Yeah, and there's another one where it
plant
was
that has
like,
adapted to its environment. It was a nice metaphor when it came in, but I wish they'd brought it
here's
back
the thing.
or referenced it.
I mentioned open-endedness earlier, and we were just mentioning it now. There is some open-endedness here. Obviously, Guy is still alive and has, like, every superpower that we've ever known. So, like, wait, hopefully she stays good.
Yeah.
I mean,
right?
like, I don't see any reason why she would just turn bad, but it's like, is she just, like, the most powerful being in the universe now?
Right.
Is that, like, okay.
Right.
I would have
Danvers plus
assumed that
everybody
Gaia was
else.
going to have to die along with Gravik, and those powers were going to, be gone. They would blow the machine up or whatever, but no, that machine still exists. Gaia still has all those powers. World War III is still kind of imminent. Like, not necessarily Russia and the U.S., but, like,
but
planetary
humans and
wars.
Skrulls, yeah.
So, like, there is a lot of that open-endedness where it's like they could potentially even have season 2 if they wanted to, because that plant isn't necessarily, like, at the end, Vera was like, my work is here, and that's what's super important right now, and her work is plants. Remember, she has that whole, like, botanical basement thing going on. So it's like, maybe that plant will come back into play in a future episode of something, or because the concept of a super Skrull is still here, Skrulls are still a thing. So yeah, this isn't a nice tidy ending. This is an open-ended ending that can lead to other things. We don't have a post-credit scene, which is
a little disappointing.
So that's like 3 or 4 levels of disappointment here, where I'm, we do, like, we mentioned ahead of time, like, they make fun of us for, like, expecting too much in these scenarios. But at the same time, like, that 38 minutes, like, they could have easily flushed that out a little bit more and had that fight last longer and be more aggressive and have more, show a different variety of superpowers. Not just, like I said, it was like a Drax arm and then a Hulk arm, and then it was just like this array of, like, muscular arms they kept putting on her, and it was like,
I did get a version of the reveal I wanted. Instead of it being some other Skrull that we hadn't anticipated, the big reveal was that it was Gaia all along, not Nick Fury.
Yeah.
That was the big surprise, which was cool. That was definitely a cool reveal. And I enjoyed some of the almost wittiness of the different powers that came into play during the Gaia and Gravik fight.
Yeah, the Mantis.
Like when you see Mantis, it's like, that's kind of cute. Or like suddenly she has a Drax arm and you're like, oh, it's a Drax arm. There was some wit and humor to the way that was handled. But I agree, it could have been fleshed out more. And it did feel, the way it ended felt very abrupt.
Yeah. That fight in particular was like, I felt like it was like just starting. I was like so convinced that, like, oh wait, no, that doesn't kill him. He's got extremis.
Right, he's coming back at the next minute.
And it felt like she just put a hole in his, like, stomach. Like, he got literally shot through the face, and, like, we just watched it, like, heal up. So it's like, wait, he got, like, shot through the face, and that was cool, but, like, a hole in his stomach, and now he's dead. Little bit of inconsistency there. It should have just been, like, I feel like that should have been a much longer, more brutal, both people get killed kind of fight. Yeah, it just could have been, there could have been more there.
Yeah. What exactly, I'm unclear as to what was going on in that room with all the pod people that Sonya took Gaia to.
Well, that was just implying, right, that there are even more Skrulls. Is that what that was?
I'm unclear as to what was going on there, or is that something that SIS is doing?
Yeah. So, because
Sonya took Gaia, she's, but she's working for the UK. And she took Gaia to that place with all the pod people.
Yeah.
So I'm curious exactly what is going on there.
Yeah, so it's like, in what context, like, they didn't, like, announce, like, season 2 or anything like that. So it's like, in what context do some of these storylines pick up again?
Right.
In that regard, is it a Secret Invasion season 2? Nick Fury is obviously still alive. Vera implied that there's still work to be done with, like, the Skrull
And there's
botany.
been and it's open season on Skrulls, but apparently on like random humans as well right now. So the world is in chaos. Everybody's rioting, killing each other because of this hate speech that President Ritson made. You know, so there's all kinds of wild stuff going on.
You did get your question answered, where it was like, I want to know where Rhodey is.
He was
and
in
so
Russia
Rhodey
with the
was
rest of them. Yeah,
just in a pod, like you thought.
Yeah.
But then again, like, he didn't really get much action from the real Rhodey. You just had Don Cheadle being the Skrull lady pretending to be Rhodey,
Right.
which was like, to me, it was very like, how is President Ritson not cluing into like Rhodey being like a little too aggro? Like, he was so like, you've got to kill the Russians.
It was a hard sell, right?
It was
like,
very like,
yeah.
I don't think Rhodey would be this like nuke. Like, kind of, yeah, it was just very. But yeah, you didn't really get Don Cheadle as the actual Colonel Rhodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't get any crazy cameos. They kind of so basically like at the end, like this, it's self-contained. Like they add some of those fun superpowers into the Harvest so that you can like, oh, that's that character. There's Mantis. There's
Right,
you know,
yeah.
That's a little bit of that fun tying it into the other Marvel stuff. But really, the show just kept itself self-contained. It had its own, you know, it didn't bother too much like trying to connect. It didn't even really like end. So it's very much open-ended. Still anything can happen. What context? I don't know though. Like what?
Yeah.
Don't know how this is moving forward. I was hoping to get like a Fantastic Four tease or something, like maybe they would introduce.
I really was not
introduce
expecting
Reed
that.
Richards or something to make it like, because like I kept talking about.
I think you're hoping for too much.
No, because the comics really did like the Super Skrull was a villain in the Fantastic Four comic, so it's very. To me, it made sense to, like, at the very least, connect it, have some introduction. But
See, to me, it made sense to do it the way they did it, which was to use characters that we already know as the superpowers that were being harvested.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, because everybody, if you go back through that scene, that fight between Gaia and Gravik, if you really broke it down, you could identify all the different powers and all the different characters that were on display. In that scene.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's like a cool dozen at least of different powers that we saw going on.
Yeah,
we immediately noticed a few of them. We'd be like, oh, Drax.
What's
oh,
the
Mantis.
rock
Oh, Carol
character
Danvers.
from Thor? The character, the guy that's just all rocks. Like, her
Korg.
arm turned into that guy.
Right.
It was just like a rock arm.
Right.
Where I'm like, well, there's just like another like muscular arm from a different character.
There was a Hulk arm at one point.
Drax.
Korg. Yeah. So like there were lots of different characters that were represented in that scene, and it's all people that you could identify from previous films and shows.
Yeah.
So I think that makes sense in this context. But so I was not expecting anything Fantastic Four related. Not in my wildest dreams did I expect that.
Yeah.
But,
I guess kind of like at the very end with that scene with Vera and Fury, like they kind of just like summed everything up into like a love story kind of. Like at the end, it was a love story between Fury and Vera, like, and they came together. So like the Skrulls didn't find a home. Like the Kree are gonna have peace talks. Like maybe the Skrulls will have a home that's their original home, or who knows? Oh, Skrullos got destroyed, but
well, I think what's also important about that scene is that not only does it show an example of what's possible, but it shows Fury sort of learning and adapting himself. Do you remember in the previous scene where she said, would you still love me if I were in my own skin, basically? And he didn't answer the question.
Yeah.
He just said, I guess we'll never know. And he left, which was really cold. That was really harsh. And in this final scene between the two of them, he did answer the question. He said, only as you are. And they kissed, and it was so nice. And but it shows that he was able to sort of change his mind, or to learn and adapt. Just the same way that she's had to adapt to her environment, he's adapting to changing circumstances as well.
Yeah.
So it proves not only that humans and Skrulls can get along, but like that the process is possible, that like people can change. Yeah. It's not easy, but it's possible.
Yeah. So overall, I give the show a good rating. I enjoyed it. I think it's puttered a little bit in this final episode. It didn't necessarily hit as hard as I wanted it to, but I think overall I'm still very satisfied. I don't know if there's necessarily rewatchability. It depends on what happens next. Like I haven't rewatched much of the Marvel shows at all. There's been so much Marvel material. It would, like I've gone back a little bit, but yeah, in terms of like this being a reaction and we're like reacting, like this wasn't a reaction heavy show, obviously. Like there wasn't much of us like ooh ah like having shocked faces. There was definitely some, but for the most part, this was mostly us just like absorbing what was happening. So it's a little bit different from other Marvel shows in that way, and that, you know, this didn't necessarily lend itself massively to reactions. But I don't think that necessarily means that
But it was a slow burn.
Yeah.
I mean, I really actually enjoyed the show. I would rewatch this.
Oh, okay.
You know, I loved how high the stakes were the entire time. I loved the sort of dark, gritty vibe that the show had.
Sonya stole the show.
Sonya stole the show for sure.
She was the comedy
Love
almost
Olivia
entirely.
Colman.
Yeah.
There were some really strong elements.
The best
of this
part
for
with
me.
Olivia Colman, the best part with Sonya is that like she was the comedy relief, but like never ever ever did you ever like doubt her like scariness.
Absolutely.
So she was able to be like terrifying and hilarious at the same time.
Yeah.
So she really kind of stole the show for me in this. It's not like the Sonya show. It's still, you know, Nick Fury, but in that weird kind of way, like Sonya was almost like a better Nick Fury than Nick Fury was in his own
absolutely.
show. She kind of held it down in terms of like being the person like pointing the gun at people and being like, all right, give me information.
Yeah.
You know? But overall, I think it was a good show.
I would definitely rewatch it, and if they make a season 2, I'd be thrilled to come back.
Yeah,
for
and I
season
think
2.
there's enough open-endedness there that you could potentially do that and have it be like a whole nother storyline.
Yeah,
it wouldn't necessarily need to be, you know, invasion in this way, but the storyline can continue.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see what they do. Like we said, everything got pushed back. I don't know where everything is. I know Fantastic Four was on the slate at one point, coming not that long after Ant-Man, Quantumania, right? So that's why I was expecting maybe
everything's been shoved back, though. Yeah, and I think there's so much uncertainty in Hollywood right now. It's hard to know when we're gonna.
Gaia used that one move
material.
where she like turned invisible and like, you know, teleported or whatever, or kind of moved, and I was like, oh, that was kind of like Invisible Woman, but like they didn't. Which character was that she stole that?
I'm
power
not
from?
sure who
I
she
can't
stole
remember.
that from. I have to go back and figure it out.
Like there was a
when
lot
I have
of stuff.
my leisure.
Yeah, there was that one where like her arm turned into that like ice knife.
Yeah.
Which character was that?
Is that maybe like a frost beast?
Is that is that like that guy? There's so many characters.
There's so many characters who I've lost track of.
When they did the harvest, it like flashed through like 40 different names.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, it's something like Valkyrie was on that list. Like,
right.
Yeah. But hey, fun. Yeah, guys, it's Marvel. We do it. It's fun. We love these characters and these stories, and it's always fun. I don't know if there's gonna be more, but I hope there is.
Yeah, I agree.
I hope there is, because I feel like the open-endedness kind of left me like, this doesn't necessarily need to feel like a putt ending to me if there is more, because then I'll look back on this and be like, oh, okay, the context that this established is awesome.
They set it up for whatever comes next.
Yeah, and I mean, Marvel has been kind of doing that in an ongoing fashion for like over a decade now, where it's like, hey, you never really, like I said, this was a self-contained story, but there's enough there that it's like you can keep going, and
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see where they go with it. Guys, let us know what you thought about not just this episode, but the show as a whole. Would you recommend it? Would you rewatch it? Let us know your thoughts below in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see the reaction fully unedited. Go over to patreon.com/JediJive. Check it out. That's where we put up what's coming next, Ahsoka. We'll see you in a few weeks for the Ahsoka show. Can't wait to do it.
Peace.
Peace, guys.